we are going to the just earlier class, we have discussed about electric field intensity due to an electric dipole at a point on the axial line of electric dipole, which is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into 2p by d cube. D is the distance of the point from center of the dipole. At the same time, at a point on its equatorial line, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into p by d cube. D is the distance of the point on equatorial line from the center of the dipole. But now here, our point is all about, here is negative pole of the dipole, here is a positive pole of the dipole. Of course, here it is an imaginary line passing through center of the dipole joining the two poles, which is axis of the dipole. Here is center of the dipole, here it is. And the dipole moment vector is p bar. Here is equatorial line of the dipole. Now my point is not either on equatorial line or on axial line. My point is somewhere else. Of course, the distance of the point from the center of the dipole is d. And this distance will not be enough to locate that particular point. Any point can be located in the plane with the two distances. One is a horizontal distance from y-axis and vertical distance from x-axis, whose coordinates are x, y, which are Cartesian coordinates. I repeat, Cartesian coordinates. Two perpendicular distances from two referral lines to locate the position of a point in the plane. But here d is the distance from the fixed point from the origin. Then this point cannot be located with the distance itself. That is the reason why we mentioned the angle at which the point is located. Means the angle between the line joining the particular point from the fixed point and with the axis is theta. Then the coordinates of this particular point can be written as a d comma theta, which we call them as polar coordinates. Polar coordinates. Position of a point in the plane can be identified with a combination of distance and angle. Yes, now here I am going to calculate the electric field intensity at that particular point due to my electric dipole. Then in what manner? So to find the electric field intensity at that particular point, what we are going to do? This is not a point on axial line or the point on equatorial line. That's the reason why my supposition here it is, as my dipole moment vector p bar is directed like this at an angle theta with this line, let me suppose this component of p bar in this direction is p cos theta. You know vector resolution very well. And the perpendicular component will be p sin theta. So the given dipole moment p bar can be replaced with two components. One is p cos theta, another one is p sin theta. Shows that there is a presence of two dipoles, one with moment p cos theta, another with moment p sin theta. Don't say there are three dipoles, because the dipole moment vector p bar can be replaced with its two perpendicular components, p cos theta and p sin theta. So I have two dipole moment vectors, one is p cos theta, another one is p sin theta. Now, this particular point where I wish to calculate the field intensity lies on the axial line of the dipole of moment p cos theta. Hope you got the logic. My particular point lies on the axial line of the dipole of moment p cos theta, And if this is the dipole of moment p sin theta, then our point lies on its equatorial line. You know very well, whenever point lies on axial line, the field intensity will be in the direction of dipole moment. And if your point is on equatorial line, here it is, dipole of moment p sin theta, this point lies on its equatorial line, then field intensity at that point will have a direction parallel to the axis but against dipole moment vector. So E1 is the field intensity at this particular point due to the dipole of moment p cos theta, which falls on axis. E2 is the field intensity due to the dipole of moment p sin theta, whose direction is anti-parallel to the dipole moment. Because on equatorial line, field intensity direction will be anti-parallel to dipole moment. You know that. And parallel to axis. Now what is E1? Very simply. E1 is electric field intensity at that point due to the dipole of moment p cos theta, and the point falls on its axis at a distance d from the center. Then 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into 2 p cos theta by d cube. Whereas E2 equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into p sin theta by d cube. Because this point falls on equatorial line of the dipole of moment p sin theta, so U2 value will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into p sin theta by d cube. So this is all similar to this, according to equations for axial line and equatorial line concept. But dipole moment in one case p cos theta, the other case p sin theta. Hope you got the logic. Now the resultant field intensity at this point will be the vector sum of E1 bar and E2 bar, which are perpendicular, E1 bar, E2 bar. So that this is equal to square root of E1 square plus E2 square. Hope you are well familiar with the calculation part. While doing E1 square plus E2 square, I can take 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught whole square as common term in these two, E1 square plus E2 square. Apart from that, p square I can take common by d cube whole square means d power 6 I can take common. Apart from that, here 2 cos theta whole square means 4 cos square theta plus sin square theta over square root. I know you are smarter than me in calculation part, where you can understand. So this field intensity now E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught will come out, P will come out, D cube will come out because the denominator D power 6. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into P by D cube into here something over square root. Here 4 cos square theta, take 1 cos square theta plus sin square theta equal to 1. Still how many cos square thetas left? 3 cos square thetas. So your equation can be 1 plus 3 cos square theta is the final equation for electric field intensity at that point due to the electric dipole. So if a point is located at a distance d from the center of the dipole and at an angle theta with the axis of the dipole, then the field intensity is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into p by d cube into 1 plus 3 cos square theta over square root. Sir, my point is on axial line. Then you have to put theta equal to 0. You will come across this equation. Sir, my point goes to equatorial line. Then theta equal to 90 is put in that equation. You will come across this equation. So the electric field intensity due to an electric dipole at a general point it is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into p by d cube into 1 plus 3 cos square theta over square root. Of course, field intensity is a vector physical quantity. So along with the magnitude, direction. Coming to the direction, let us suppose the resultant of these two are at an angle alpha with E1 bar. alpha with E1 bar, then tan alpha equal to E2 by E1, because E1, E2 perpendicular, with E1 you are expressing angle. Then tan alpha is equal to E2 by E1. Come to this. E2 by E1, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught cancel, dq will cancel, p will cancel. Then what is left? Sin theta by 2 cos theta is left. Sin theta by 2 cos theta. So that tan alpha equal to half into tan theta. From this equation you can calculate alpha. Alpha is the direction of the resultant field intensity with E1 bar. Somebody may question, sir, I don't want with E1 bar. I want with horizontal or vertical something. You may say, yes, if this is the horizontal line, hope you are understanding. I'm going to add a little more in the figure. This is the horizontal line parallel to the axis. This is theta, this will be theta. So now the field intensity direction with horizontal means at an angle theta plus alpha. Already theta is known to you. Alpha you can calculate tan alpha equal to half into tan theta using that equation. So the resultant field intensity at a horizontal is in a direction at an angle with a horizontal theta plus alpha. Here is the calculation part that you were missed in the earlier link. Actually, I have gone for shoot at a continuous stretch. Maybe because of some technical problems, you were missed this part of calculation in the last video. Electric field intensity due to the dipole at a point whose polar coordinates are d comma theta. D is the distance from the center to the point. Theta is the angle made by the line joining the point to the center and axis of electric dipole. This is what electric field intensity concept due to a dipole. Now we are going to discuss about the behavior of this electric dipole when it is placed in an external electric field. Of course, you have got introduction in the earlier class. Now we are going to discuss in detail how do an electric dipole behaves when it is placed in an external electric field. Of course, we do discuss about uniform electric field and non-uniform electric field. You have learned already. Uniform electric field means the strength and the direction of the electric field at every point in the field remains the same. If the strength of the field changes but direction remains the same, if the strength remains same but direction is going to change, or both the strength and the direction are going to change, then we do say the field is going to change. Then it is a non-uniform electric field. So we do discuss about the presence of an electric dipole in uniform electric field and non-uniform electric field. Once note down this. Yes. Now we are going to discuss about the presence of an electric dipole in uniform electric field. Here is the point that we are going to discuss. The presence of electric dipole in uniform electric field. So here the point it is, once look at this, here is my electric dipole and here it is a negative pole and here it is the positive pole. This is the positive one and here center of the dipole, which is placed in a uniform electric field which is directed horizontally. It is placed in uniform electric field that is directed horizontally in this way. So you have learned in the earlier class, whenever a charged particle present in an electric field it experiences a force. If it is positive charge, that is in the direction of the field. If it is a negative charge, that force is against the field. Now here your dipole is the combination of two unlike charges separated by a distance of equal magnitude. So this positive charge will experience a force, and this negative charge will experience a force, but against the electric field here. So now once look at the situation, the dipole in uniform electric field is experiencing two forces which are equal in magnitude, because here F is equal to EQ, here also F is equal to EQ, because the dipole has charges of equal magnitude. The ends of the dipole have charges of equal magnitude. So the dipole is experiencing two forces that are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. So that you have learnt, whenever a body experiencing two forces that are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction, acting simultaneously at two different points, then they produce a rotational effect in the body and is measured as couple. Yes, whenever two forces which are equal in magnitude, opposite in direction, are acting simultaneously on a body at two different points, then they produce a rotational effect, like opening the cap of your bottle or going to turn the cap of the tap, So that's all come under the concept of couple. You have learned already in the basics of mechanics. So the couple is measured as the product of the force, one of the forces, of course they are equal in magnitude, and perpendicular distance between the two equal forces. So that C equal to one of the forces, F equal to EQ, into perpendicular distance between the two forces. Here is the perpendicular distance between the two lines of action. Here is one line of action, here is another line of action, and here is the perpendicular distance. So how to calculate this perpendicular distance? Yes, once look at this. When here is your electric dipole, you know that this is the axis of the dipole. And let us suppose the dipole moment vector, which is directed from negative to positive of the dipole moment vector is at an angle theta with the field vector, so that the axis of the dipole makes an angle theta here. Then 2L is the length of the dipole, 2L. Here to here 2L is the length of the dipole. Then in this right angle triangle, this opposite side can be 2L sine theta. Because the length of the dipole is hypotenuse 2L, making an angle theta with this adjacent side, then this opposite side, which is the perpendicular distance between the two forces, will be 2L sine theta. So that you can write it as Q into 2L is nothing but dipole moment EP sine theta. Here is the magnitude of the couple experienced by the dipole in uniform electric field. Sir, does it experience any net force? No. The net force experienced by the dipole in uniform electric field is 0, because here is the force in forward direction, here is the force in backward direction. Both are equal in magnitude, opposite in direction. So the forces nullify each other and the net force experienced by the dipole will be 0. Means your dipole will be under translatory equilibrium in external uniform electric field, but will experience a couple. So it is not under rotational equilibrium. Because of the couple, your dipole is going to rotate like this. So you don't expect that it is in rotational equilibrium. It is under translatory equilibrium. Apart from that, you can write the vector form of the couple, which is E bar
cross E bar.
So that the direction
E bar
of
cross
the
E bar
can be given by the right hand rule. You know how to get the direction of the cross product. Curling your fingers from E bar to P bar. Then like torque, it is also a axial vector. Of course, coming to the units, as it is a force into perpendicular distance, it will be Newton meter, very simple. So this is how you can explain the couple experienced by an electric dipole in uniform electric field. Sir, once, because of the couple, as the electric dipole is rotating, if it comes parallel to the electric field, yes, once look at this. If your dipole comes in this way, parallel to the electric field, here is the direction of the electric field, here is the direction of the dipole moment. Means both electric field and the dipole moment vector are in the same direction. Means angle between E bar and P bar is 0. Then in this particular situation, the couple experienced by the dipole will be 0. And already net force is 0 already. So it is under rotational equilibrium and also under translatory equilibrium, because whenever your dipole comes to a position so that the dipole moment vector and field vector are in the same direction, then already net force 0 because of experiencing equal forces in opposite direction, and the couple is also 0. So your dipole is under rotational equilibrium and also under translatory equilibrium. Hope you are understanding. Net couple is 0 and net torque is 0. Sir, no sir. My dipole is in such a way so that the directions of E bar and P bar are opposite. Then theta equal to 180, still C equal to 0 and net force equal to 0 still. Net couple is 0, net force is 0 because theta equal to 180. This is all rotational equilibrium and translatory equilibrium conditions are satisfied. So this is how you can explain the presence of an electric dipole in a uniform electric field. And apart from this, you may ask, sir, if it is exactly perpendicular to the electric field. If it is exactly perpendicular to the electric field, still the net force 0, but there is a couple experienced because theta equal to 90 degrees, C is equal to E into P, because 90 degrees is 1. So if the dipole is perpendicular to the electric field, it will experience a couple. So these are the two conditions in which the couple experienced by the electric dipole is 0. So now in the next topic, we are going to discuss about if I wish to rotate an electric dipole in the external field, because here when you have placed the electric dipole in external uniform electric field, you know the electric field is going to make the dipole to rotate in clockwise direction in my diagrammatic representation. Have you seen? The clockwise couple is produced and making the dipole to rotate in clockwise. If I wish to rotate against the field, For example, my dipole is in such a way, so dipole moment vector is in the direction of the field vector. I have placed my electric dipole parallel to the uniform electric field, then couple experienced by the dipole is 0. But now I wish to rotate it through some angle in anti-clockwise direction. I wish to rotate it through some angle. Yes, then I have to do some work against the electrostatic couple which is acting on that dipole because of electrostatic force, of course. So the next topic that we are going to discuss about work done to rotate an electric dipole in uniform electric field. Hope you have understood the next topic. This is how I wish to rotate the dipole. We discuss once note down. Here is my dipole is at an angle theta1 with the electric field vector, but I wish to rotate the dipole against the electric field to an angle theta 2, TO2. Initially it is at an angle theta1, but I wish to turn against the electric field to an angle theta 2. Then what is the amount of work done? So my question is all about work done to rotate a dipole in external electric field. Work done to rotate a dipole is my concept. Usually in translatory motion, the amount of work done can be calculated using the formula W equal to F bar dot S bar, of course Fs cos theta, when a constant force acting on the body. If the force acting on the body is variable in translatory motion, then the amount of work done will be calculated using the concept of integration. W equal to integral of F bar dot ds bar. Similarly, in rotatory motion, the amount of work done can be calculated using the dot product of torque or couple and the angular displacement. Because in translatory motion, it is the force that causes the motion, but in rotatory motion, it is the torque or couple acting on that body. In translatory motion, change in position can be expressed as a displacement, x or s. But in rotatory motion, the change in position will be informed as angular displacement, which is in terms of theta or d theta, however it is. So here, whenever I am trying to rotate the dipole, the couple acting on the dipole is going to increase, because you know very well, the couple experienced by the dipole is C equal to Pe sin theta. So if theta is going to increase, even though Pe remains constant for the given dipole in the given electric field, but theta is going to change when I am trying to rotate the dipole against the electric field. As theta increases, the couple experienced by the dipole increases. So here, if I am going to rotate the dipole in external electric field, I am doing work against the variable couple, so that my concept will be all about the total work done will be integral of dW. Of course, dW will be written as C into d theta. Whereas in translatory motion, dW equal to F into dx. In rotatory motion, dW equal to C into d theta. Because force is replaced with couple or torque, displacement will be replaced with angular displacement. So that where to where? I wish to rotate from theta equal to theta 1 to theta equal to theta 2. I wish to rotate my dipole. So this is equal to integral of Pe sin theta d theta from theta 1 to theta 2. Then this is equal to here Pe constant, integral of sin theta will be minus cos theta between the limits of theta 1 to theta 2. So this is equal to Pe, so first term minus cos theta 2 upper limit minus second term lower limit minus cos theta 1, that minus and minus becomes a plus. So this is all amount of work done, step by step calculation part. So if you simplify this, is equal to Pe cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. So let me conclude here. The amount of work done to rotate the dipole from theta 1 to theta 2 is given by Pe of cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2 is my equation now. So this is all the equation for the amount of work done to rotate an electric dipole in an uniform electric field from an angle theta 1 to an angle theta 2 is given by Pe cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. I have told you one situation in the earlier point. I have given to you one example. Sir, my electric dipole is in the direction of electric field. This is how your electric dipole means. Here is anyway minus, and here is plus, because the dipole moment direction is from negative to positive. That is our dipole, which is placed parallel to the electric field. So now I wish to turn my dipole through an angle theta. Means initially your electric dipole is in the direction of the field. So theta equal to 0 position. Now you wish to turn through an angle theta. So that theta 2 equal to theta. Shall I repeat? An electric dipole is placed in the direction of electric field. Now you wish to turn the dipole through an angle theta. So in this particular situation, your theta 1 will be equal to 0. Your theta 2 will be equal to theta. Then amount of work done W equal to PE cos theta 1, cos 0 degrees 1 minus cos theta. This is one more formula. What is this formula? The amount of work done to rotate an electric dipole from the direction of the electric field through an angle theta is W equal to PE of 1 minus cos theta. So this is all about the presence of electric dipole in uniform electric field and the couple experienced by the electric dipole and the amount of work done to rotate an electric dipole in external uniform electric field. So these are the 3 points that I have covered regarding electric dipole concept. In the next class, we come across what is the energy that is possessed by the dipole in electric field. Does it possess energy? Then what is that energy and how to calculate that energy? If 2 or more dipoles are placing together, then how will be their behavior? Dipole interaction, that we are going to discuss in the next class. So this is all about for today's class. So I request you once, this is all a lengthy part of electrostatic